Hey yo! Welcome to the wonderful world of Hungry Heath. Now I am not a classically trained chef. What I am is a self-taught home cook. I have studied under several television chefs. I have a PhD from YouTube University and a black belt in Google Food. I love to cook. The only thing I love more than cooking is my wife, the sensational Shelly Eats Steak. Together, every Friday night, we host what we like to call the Friday Night Feast. Now this happens, like I said, every Friday, 6:30 Central. We'll cook up an entree, maybe a couple little snacks, show you all how to do it, and then we'll just sit around and just enjoy the fruit of our labors with all of our friends, and we like to call the Hungry Horde. We hope you can tune in sometime. Now for today's video, we are on day 25 of the Two Crazy Ketos July Chopped Challenge, where they've tasked us with using new protein every single day of the month. And today they want us to use beef oxtail. So I went scouring online, found several different recipes. They all sounded a little, I don't know, too complicated for me. So I dumbed it down and Heathified them. And what I'm going to do is, how much do we have here? Do you remember how much?
I think it's about 3 pounds, maybe a little more.
Alrighty.
I don't know. Each one is... Oh, I can't even read that.
Exactly. It's upside down for what we got said.
But I think each one's a little over a pound, but there's a lot of little bones in it.
Right.
They didn't have any of the big packages at the HEB that we went to, so we had to buy the small packages, so it ended up being kind of pricey, actually. Yeah. They're like, I think $7.97 a pound.
Yeah.
I just think that's really high for oxtail.
Yeah, it is.
I like it when it's generally around $3-4 a pound, but it's part of the challenge, so we're going to do it. Oxtail is supposed to be like the best part of a cow, next to the lingua.
Yeah.
But it is kind of something that you have to cook low and slow.
Yeah. So I figured the easiest way to do that is do it in my Instant Pot. So I'm going to start off by sauteing them in a little bit of red Hatch chili olive oil. And then I'm going to season them lightly with my salt, pepper, and garlic blend. Then I'm going to dice up a Reaper pepper and a red jalapeno. Add that to it as well. And then I'm going to add about a cup of bone broth. I saved, if y'all watched my other video when we made the tacos de lengua, I saved all the juices from that video, from that cook. And that's what we're going to use to cook this in. So I think all these flavors are going to blend very well together. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this, what is it again? Scotch Bonnet hot sauce
that we got in Jamaica. So we're kind of doing a Jamaican twist on oxtail. I know there's different versions. Like there's the southern version, which is kind of usually like a red wine or tomato type of slow braise. And then there's the Jamaican version. So we thought, well, we got the Scotch Bonnet. Why not do a little spin on it? Have something a little spicy, right?
Right. That sounds awesome. So let's get to cooking. So I got my Instant Pot set up. Now the first thing I want to do is take some of that olive oil. And I'm just going to put just a little dab. I'm not measuring this. I just want enough to cover the bottom. What I like to do is actually take my pan out, the liner, and kind of tilt it and get it all nice and coated. Now I forgot to mention, I do have this preset already on the saute setting. Now I've noticed sometimes on this thing, if you have it on that too long, it'll actually, I guess it's a safety feature or whatever, because it'll just turn off on you. It's easy to remedy. You just power it off, turn it back on, and you're good to go. So I'm going to let this sit for a minute, let this warm up, and then we can start searing. So the first thing I do is grab one of these oxtails, and I take my salt, pepper, and garlic, and I just lightly dust it. And if y'all have seen my previous videos, y'all know we always keep this little container full with equal parts salt, pepper, and garlic. We use this as a general purpose seasoning. So I'm just going to set these in here. Let them start searing. Man, I love that sound. And I'm going to sit here and do all of these. I'm going to try and get all of them coated. Now I got a couple of these little guys. There's not much meat on it, but this bone will still end up flavoring everything. So I'm going to throw them in there as well. Let me get another one. Man, look at all the meat on this one. This is really good. I'm getting kind of excited about this dish. And I think the way that's looking, I'm going to have to do this in batches so I don't overcrowd the pan. So I'll be right back. Now, searing in the Instant Pot, you follow the same rules like you would cook on a skillet on the stove. If you want to flip it, you wait and make sure that the meat actually releases on its own. Because if you start just grabbing it, it's like that one still sticks. So it's not ready yet. This way here, if we pulled that loose, it would actually start tearing the meat. It won't give us an even sear. So I'm going to let these go for a little longer. I'll start flipping them. I'm going to try and do all sides of these. As you can see, all of our meat is cooked. I'll put it in a plate until I'm ready. Our next thing we need to do is I have all this juice from when we made the tacos de lengua the other day. I'm just going to put a couple of spoonfuls in this hot skillet. And then I'm going to take my flat edge spatula. I'm just going to deglaze this pan. Just knock up all the little bits. Sometimes you got to fight with it a little bit. I'm going to do the best I can. So I switched over to using my fish spatula. I think it's a little more rigid. And it seems like it's knocking these bits off a lot better too. So it's mainly all you want to do is just clean up your pot, get all the crusty bits off of it. It may take you a minute. You just got to be a little patient. But when you're done with this, one, it's going to help clean the pan. And two, it's going to end up making your final product taste a little better. I'll be right back. Now I have all the meat added back to the pan. And I'm going to top it off with all those sliced peppers. Oh man, it smells so good. Next, I'm going to add this whole cup of that rendered broth from the tacos de lengua. Scrape the sides, make sure we got it all. Then, for the final touch, we got this Scotch Bonnet pepper hot sauce we picked up, I believe, in Jamaica on one of our cruises. I've yet to open it, so today is the maiden cook. And if y'all heard me complain before, I don't like the fact this is a completely open top. It needs a little dauber on top of here. But I've been saving them, so I can add one to this later. What I'm going to do, I'm not measuring this. I'm just going to free pour a little of this. I like that it's thick too. This is good. Oh, look at that big glob of it just fell out. Oh man, this smells amazing. I wish y'all could taste this. You're missing out so much right now by not being here. Oh wow, I ended up using like half the bottle. This is going to be amazing. Now I got the lid locked in place, and I make sure the dial is set to sealing. Now it's time to set our cooker to manual. Says 30 minutes, but I want it on high, and I'm going to do 90 minutes. So we just got to let it run it up. 70. The glare off the light is kind of blinding me. I think I went a little too far. 89. There's 90. So now we just wait for it to come on. It may take a minute. It may take 10 minutes. You just have to be patient with the cooker. And there it goes. Perfect. I think it helps speed it up a little bit that we did the saute setting first. because then the Instant Pot's already hot. So we're going to let this go, and then about hour and a half, 2 hours, I'll come back and show you what's next. So now I've let this sit at natural release for a little over 2 hours. I'm going to open it up, start peeling the meat away from the bones. So I let this natural release for a little over 2 hours. We got busy doing some stuff around the house, and I didn't come back to it. But now I'm going to take what I call my spider whisk or whatever. I'm just going to scoop it out. And this will be perfect because look, all the juice can run through. And this will allow me to collect just the meat. And then I can start separating it from the bone. Now I've just pulled this oxtail out of the Instant Pot and put it in a bowl. It's still a little warm, but I found the easiest way is put my gloves on and just remove all the stuff with my hands. Then I'll just put this in a little bowl on the side, or a little container. And this I'll use this, make some bone broth, and mix all this up and give it to my dog. So here's all that shredded beef that came off of those bones. Now there's two options you got here. I feel like anyways. You can add back some of this juice and it'll make a wonderful soup. Or you can do what we're fixing to do and turn all this meat into some glorious tacos. All the leftover juice, I'm going to put in a container, put it in the freezer, and I'll save it and then either make this again with another batch of the bones, or I'll buy like a chuck roast or something like that and just do shredded beef with it. And it'll be a perfect cooking liquid for that. Oh.
Y'all, this looks good. I don't think I've ever had oxtail as tacos.
I haven't either, but y'all know my default. Everything is tacos. Tacos is life. I just saw how shredded it looked. I was like, that would fit perfect on a taco. Or another option I had too was to mix it up into some scrambled eggs.
Which you're going to do tomorrow with the leftovers.
Right. And then I'll probably put that in a taco too.
This made I had about 7 ounces of meat. I think you have about 10.
Okay.
And there's still another container. So I would say it roughly made about 2 pounds of meat.
Yeah.
Or at least 1.5 pounds. So that's a good amount, I think, considering everything.
Yeah. I think it's going to be awesome.
Now, last time we made oxtails, we actually made it into a soup, but it was wintertime.
Right.
I just feel like, in the summer, especially here it is towards the end of July, it's just getting hotter and hotter every day. Soup just doesn't sit right with me in the middle of summer.
No.
You?
No. I'm not a big fan of soup anyways.
Even though tacos are warm, it's just...
Yeah, it's all the broth.
It's the mental thing, right?
I feel like I'm drinking my dinner then.
And
I like where she also put fresh jalapenos on here as a garnish.
Yeah, and you've got some avocado mashed up and some sour cream.
Take a look at that taco.
Yeah, I'm impressed with how well they look.
That's amazing. Now, y'all know me. While we were separating the meat from the bone, I did have to sneak a little bite. And at first it wasn't as spicy as expected. But the more it sat and marinated in my mouth, the spicier it got. That's what this is doing right now, and I'm loving it. This is so good. So tender.
Like, what a great thing to do with oxtail.
And just shredded beef now.
Right, but I'm saying almost every recipe I saw when we were researching it, it was all about oxtail soups or braised oxtail. And this is a taco. I would do this every day. It's worth it to me because, I love tacos too. And we're just using the 8 Life wraps. That's our favorite tortilla.
And y'all seen my video, I hope, about how I made the pork rind tortillas. Well, ever since the Egg Life came out, I haven't been making my own. These are just so good, and they're so much bigger too. Like compared to those pork rind tortillas I made, these are more like burrito size. This is so good. Pork. I'm jamming sour cream right in my mouth or in my chin.
I think what it is, the meat is just melt in your mouth. It is so freaking tender. And it's juicy. It had all of the collagen and the cartilage, all of that kind of just melted together. The fattiness just almost disintegrated in there. It just turned out perfect. And the flavors are spectacular. I mean, it's not overwhelmingly hot. I know several of y'all, if you saw the Carolina and the jalapeno, are like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. Honestly, it's not that spicy.
No. But hey, Autumn, this one's for you. This is why you want bone-in on your meat. This is what makes it so juicy, so tender, so delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
It's just so good and tender. I just love it. I mean, if oxtails, I know it's considered a delicacy, and it's not that common in the U.S., especially in, I think, the northern part, but the southern part, we do use a lot of it. It is kind of a traditional southern dish, but honestly, $7.97 a pound. No, I wouldn't normally do it. If I got it for $2 or $3 a pound, then that would be worth it, but not for this price because I get a ribeye.
Right.
And I still love ribeyes more. How about this compared to the tapas de lengua?
Honestly, I think the lingua was better.
Mm.
It's different. I don't know why. I guess the way we did it is a different flavor profile.
Mm-hmm.
This is just more beefy. Mm. But, I mean, it's still delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to tell you something. I can't remember what it is.
And we're having the topo, twist of lime. And actually, Heath is having a glass too, y'all. Like, comment down below and tell him, go Heath. Because he definitely needed it. And then, let's see. The Scotch Bonnet sauce. The ingredients are Jamaican Scotch Bonnet peppers, salt, vinegar, and citric acid. But that's real simple, real easy. And we did get this in Jamaica. It actually says made in Jamaica.
Is there a date on it? I didn't see it earlier. And this, my 2KK mug, is another thing of that watermelon Ultima. I actually got out a Zevia to have with this, but I don't want it. I haven't had one all day.
No.
And usually I drink one with every meal.
There's no date. It is, well, I guess, I don't know. This might be it up here. I don't know. Might be just a whole bunch of numbers. But it's when we went to Jamaica because it still has the sticker from when we bought it. We paid $8 US.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to try just a little bit on here. Oh, it smells really good.
Yeah.
I like Jamaican food.
I do
We're
too.
trying to come up with a way to make Jamaican patties.
Uh-huh.
We've been like brainstorming how to do that. Because if anybody's ever had Jamaican patties, tell me if you love them. I always love them. They're so good.
We've been to Jamaica twice, and both times, the first thing we did when we got off the boat was run around getting a couple of patties.
Mm-hmm.
A little more.
That's
Now,
perfect.
I'm going to leave a link down below, too, so y'all can find this island spice also. Because I think I'm going to order another bottle or two. But whenever I added this to the Instant Pot, it seemed like it was a little chunky, even though I shook it up. But now it feels a little better.
Yeah. If y'all
so good.
like this recipe, comment down below. I know Jamie was really looking forward to seeing what we would do with oxtails. I hope you're happy, Jamie.
Yeah.
Does this sound like a good recipe you would try?
I hope so.
And everybody else in the Hungry Horde, let us know. Are you going to try this recipe? How do you normally do oxtails?
So simple.
Can you even get oxtails where you're at?
I think, honestly, the hardest part of this was after it's done cooking and I had to pull the meat and the bone apart from each other.
Yeah, it was
and
the most time consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I just basically, that's why I love the Instant Pot. Just set it and forget it.
Right?
Man, this is so tasty. Thank y'all for watching. And don't forget, every Friday night, 6:30 Central, we'll go live for the Friday night feast. We'll cook up an entree, maybe something like this, maybe a couple little snacks, show y'all how to do it, and then we'll just sit around and just shoot the breeze with all y'all, all my friends in the Hungry Horde. I really wish y'all were here to taste this with me.
That'd be
This
fun.
is so good. Catch you on the next one. I gotta stuff my face with these tacos.
Bye.